This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Griffins win in overtime to stay alive in the Calder Cup playoffs to force Game 4 on Thursday with the most disgusting goal I think we've seen MBN score all season long. Welcome back to the Hockeytown West podcast, everybody, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. I am joined by all three of my amazing co-hosts that just wrapped up a 4-hour live stream with me, and Keegan as well from Hockey in the 313. Thank you all that tuned into the live stream during Game 3. We are 100% doing it again for Game 4. It was a blast. Over 1,600 people came through the stream, whether it was YouTube or on Twitter. So thank you all who have joined in there. We got new subscribers left and right on YouTube. We are super thrilled with how that went. We hope you all enjoyed it and had as much fun as we did. But let's get into talking about this game because, boys, we're alive. We're still alive. We get to fight another day. God, it just feels good, man. This, like the vibes right now, even though it's 11:45 at night on a weeknight after working all day, the vibes are through the roof right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was the live stream was crazy. It was a ton of engagement. It got us going. Mazer kicks it off tonight too with a goal very quickly, and it was just like energy all the way through. So. Just a fantastic way to respond.
Beautiful way to respond. Let's give you the stats breakdown before we talk about the game. Griffins win 4-3 in overtime, outshoot Chicago 46-20. Griffins power play goes 2 for 7. The Wolves power play goes 2 for 3. Carter Mazer gets the first goal of the game, like Nick said, assisted by Amadeus Lombardi and Michael Postava for his first assist of the playoffs. Way to go, Posty. John Leonard responds just 2 minutes later with a power play goal, his first of the playoffs, assisted by Sheldon Dries. The Wolves respond. Dominic Finsori gets his second of the playoffs. Justin Robidaugh gets his second on the power play as well. So it evens up the special teams battle there in the first period. And the Griffins go into the second period tied with the Wolves. Felix Ungersorum gets a power play goal, his third goal of the playoffs to give the Wolves a lead. And then Tyler Angle, just a few minutes later on the Griffins power play, gets his first of the playoffs from Stahoviak and Eric Gustafsson. No scoring in the third period. Then the overtime hero, Michael brandsegg-nygard, with his fourth goal of the playoffs, assisted by Eric Gustafsson and Sheldon Dries. Gus's fifth assist of the playoffs, Dries' fourth. Absolutely beautiful effort from the team tonight. Let's talk about that shooting right there too. Out shooting the Wolves 46-20. Mind you, 17-3 in the third period. What an effort from the Griffins tonight.
Do you know not a single Griffin player had 0 shots on goal tonight?
I did not know that until you just said it.
Every single skater, obviously minus the goalie, had at least 1 shot on goal.
He got an assist, though, so it makes up for it.
100%.
Exactly. I mean, that's a total team effort. Your back's against the wall, and the entire team is putting pucks on net, which is exactly what you have to do against a goalie like Caden Primo. And let's just start there. Him weathering a storm of 46 shots in this game, obviously losing the game still, but this game should have been like an 8-3 Griffins win when they're shooting that much. What a game from Caden Primo.
Stood on his head. I was getting nervous going into overtime, like even in the third, right? We were going to be Luke Kavlin. Like we're just seeing ghosts again, to be honest, because the kid just played outstanding. And I'm like, one bounce goes the other way like last game, right? Ends up in our back of our net. One defensive breakdown ends up in the back of our net because that's how fast Chicago could strike. So I was nervous the entire game. Primo played outstanding, stood on his head, made big saves. There was one, I believe, it was on Dries, right in the slot, got his blocker on it. He kept him in there. Like, you can't be upset about the way he played tonight for Chicago. Just incredible, right? This is probably the Moose had a good goalie last series too, but I think Primo played even better.
I would not disagree with that statement.
Even give it a 4. Like, that's a lot, but still, he played on 43 shots.
Yeah. I was just going to say it was frustrating as hell to watch. I hope he's never that good again.
Yeah, I think we can all in the Griffins fandom agree that we don't want to see him play that well again, but it's great to see the Griffins not let the frustration get the best of them and keep pouring it on. I think when you look at the past couple of games and you see the frustrations creep in, and the coach and everyone else said it, they're a frustrating team to play against. This is what it looks like when you don't let them frustrate you, even in a game like this, and you still just dig in and find a way to win. That's exactly what the result should be. And again, credit to Caden for a good game, but we hope, like Andrew said, we hope he's never that good again against us, especially on Thursday. We want to at least see the boys come back to Van Andel on Saturday. Let's talk about the goal scorers. You got to talk about John Leonard first, finally finding the back of the net with what was an absolute snipe, but outside of it being just a ridiculous shot, how great is it to see John Leonard finding the back of the net again?
He's the guy I said they needed to step up. One of the guys, him and Shine, they needed their game breakers to be game breakers, and Leonard was the game breaker early in this game, and it's huge for him. Hopefully that's the one he needed to see to go in, and he can just start finding that groove he had in the regular season.
Hopefully the floodgates have opened. That's he's been feisty. He's been playing really great defense, and he gets that goal, and I like the monkey's off his back. Let's go, right? Set the tone.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see that. And also, like, who would have thought the guy to tie the game up was going to be Tyler Angle with also what was a beautiful goal from him. Like, you don't ask a lot of your fourth line guys, but when they need to step up in big games like this, and they do, like he did tonight, like I think we all said during the live stream tonight, that this might be his best game he's played all season.
In game one, I thought he played really well. He was all over the place, him and Deuce. And then they take him out, and I'm like, okay, maybe just swap it up a little bit, whatever. And then he was all over the place tonight. I don't know how much more. It was hard to be able to like really watch. We noticed the Ammo was out, so maybe him replacing Ammo, he got a little bit more ice time, gave him a little bit more jump in his step. Probably helped him a little bit there. But yeah, I thought he played well. That goal was just deadly. He was in the right spot, the right time, called for that pass, just sniped it.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up Ammo there, and I guess we can go to the negative part of this game where Amadeus Lombardi potentially sustained an injury. He didn't play the rest of the game after this hit that he took in the corner where he was sliding towards the boards already down low, and a Wolves player went up behind him and checked him face first into the boards. Disgusting play, honestly. Let's be real. That should have resulted in a much larger penalty, and who knows if the league will look at that. We're obviously recording this literally right as after the game ended, so we'll look for updates around that one tomorrow, but Legault hitting him like that, disgusting. Positive out of that, Carter Mazur's response, giving Legault the exact same thing almost, maybe not as defenseless as Amadeus Lombardi was, and then the rest of the team piling in there as well in response to Ammo going down. What do we say every time? That's what we want to see in Detroit. Well, the Griffins have done it now multiple times in these playoffs. It's exactly what you need to see, especially in this time of the year. You have a player like Amadeus Lombardi go down, and hopefully this is not a long-term injury. Hopefully he can be back in the lineup for Thursday, because you do not want to lose a center, especially on a team that I wouldn't say doesn't have center depth, but he's such a key piece to that second line.
To your point, I mean, the positive of the negative is Tyler Angle's goal probably doesn't happen if Lombardi's still in the game, because that was a power play tally, and Angle's not typically on that second unit. So to have him replace him and get that goal, I mean, that's the upside to that. And to, obviously, as you mentioned, hopefully Lombardi, it's just like a little nagging thing, and then he's back Thursday. But yeah, I didn't like that hit. I still think it was a kind of a cheap shot and unnecessary.
I wouldn't even say kind of cheap shot. It was a cheap shot. Like, it's so unnecessary with the guy already down. The puck wasn't even really in front of him at that point. Like, come on, dude. You don't need to be like that. But that's how Chicago wants to play. Fine. That's how we'll play. And we'll see what happens in game 4. But at the same time, hopefully Ammo's all right and he's back, but good on Tyler Angle. And that's what's the beauty of having guys like Tyler Angle that can step up in moments like this and play anywhere in the lineup and produce. I mean, he's had his good games this season. He's had his bad games. Lately, we've seen bad games, but to see him rise up to this occasion and be able to do that, it's a beautiful thing to see.
He's no stranger to that second line either. There was a time in the season where he was up there. So he played wing, he played center. Like, Dan's had him in those spots. So he took advantage of the opportunity that was given to him, and that was a huge goal, because if we, like Andrew said, if we hadn't got there, the game probably wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. All right, we've gone on long enough without talking about him. Let's talk about the game-winning goal. I mean, we're going to obviously talk about Carter Mazur's goal too, but the game-winning goal, disgusting, sick, filthy. What other words can you use to describe it?
Puke emoji, gross.
Not wrong, my man. What a great heads-up play by Gustafsson to throw it up in the air. MBN retrieves it at the Wolves' blue line and then just goes for a dance party around the Wolves' defense and backhands it past Primu for, again, like we said in the intro, maybe one of the most electric goals MBN has ever scored, at least when he's playing within this organization.
I don't even know what to say, man. It was 2-on-1, and the guy takes the puck into the zone, gets it past both of them, and then just absolutely rifles a backhand shot. I got nothing.
Was the backhand release almost as powerful as his forehand release? Like, let's be real here.
Primo probably thought so.
This just puts his stamp on the playoffs, I think. This goal. I mean, he's got 4 goals, 3 assists in 7 games, or in 7 points. That goal is just absolutely sick. The way he did it, it brought me back to the Matt Luff goal from a couple years ago, where he throws it out of the air, puts it down, and then gets it. He's becoming that guy that Detroit wants and Detroit needs, right? Like, he's out. I don't know what his stats are, but you could only imagine he's leading the stats and hits right now. I'm sure we'll have those here for you shortly in the next few days. But he's out there being physical. He's in every scrum. He's getting the points. He's getting the goals. He's coming up into the big times. Like, this was his, all right, I'm here. This is his moment. Like, this reminds me of Bergie a couple years ago when he just kind of took over a series and wins it for GR. Now, obviously, Bergie's not as good, physical and hitting people where MBN is, and playing a better defensive game as well. But this is eyes are on this guy now, right? We don't have much more time with this guy, which we knew kind of going into this.
Yeah, I think if you're Detroit, you saw that happen and just went, oh, okay, yeah, immediately in the lineup next season, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's how you earn your spot in Detroit.
When they win this series, we'll look back at this goal and be like, that was the series goal, series changing goal right there. And that's what changed it. Not only it gave GR life, but it just the way it happened was just sick, right? Especially out of Primo, who's saved 40,000 shots tonight, 42 saves.
A lot of numbers you threw out there, but sure, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, one of them.
I mean, the one thing for me that really sticks out with him, you look at last year, right? He had the 2 goals and an assist in 3 games, right? And this year he's got 4 goals, 3 assists, and 7 points in 7 games. Like, guys, this is a point per game player through 2 playoff seasons. I mean, I know last year was only 3 games, relatively small sample size, but he's got 6 goals in those 10 games. You can see why Detroit's brass was so high, and when they drafted him, these are the kind of guys you need this time of the year, them big physical heavy guys that can score. And you've seen the superb skill that he has. It's just unbelievable.
I think superb's not even doing it justice at this point. I don't know if there's a word to describe what he's been able to accomplish so far in these playoffs. And, you talk about big physical guys that are performing well. I mean, look, him and Carter Mazer are leading the team in points right now. MBN with 7, Maze with 6 there, but Maze has got 5 goals out of those 6 points there. And he obviously had the first goal of the game tonight, which, again, beautiful shot. Great passing play between him and Amadeus Lombardi as well. But the sense to just take that shot where he took it from and get to that, I mean, it was a spot that they haven't gotten to often against the Wolves. It was high slot. It was open. He took the shot and was able to beat Primo. We need more shots from that space to beat this guy, and Maze didn't hesitate on the opportunity on that goal.
I was just to say, even NBA going up at the top, Leonard got a goal today too. He's creating those opportunities, right? Drive's got one last game, and when they did the switch, they got him going. Sorry, to go back to MBN real quick, he's getting those other guys involved, right? There's getting some, maybe more eyes are going to MBN, opens those 2 guys up. But I mean, it's crazy to see a guy being so impactful on both lines, right? But to go to Mazer, just fantastic. This is what you wanted out of Mazer, right? This is playoff style hockey, playoff style. I was hoping he was going to get the other goal tonight.
I kind of was too, but I'll take the game winner either way. But I mean, you look at Maze, obviously scoring well, but it's not even just that. It's the physical play. It's the standing up for your teammates. He was the first one there to go cause chaos after ammo went down. Again, just one of those guys that'll drag the whole team into the fight. And that's exactly what he did when he went after Legault there after that hit. The whole team came flying in after that. And that's why you love this locker room so much. That's why this group is such a special group. And that's why even in moments like this, they can find a way to win. There's another guy between that mix that you mentioned that I want to talk about, but we got to hit a quick ad break to try to keep this episode short. When we come back, we'll talk about that guy, wrap up our thoughts on this game to preview the next game and give you a quick update around the American Hockey League.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has a new customer offer. When the ice gets coldest, the best players in the world show you exactly who they are. Playoff warriors, turn it up, round by round, and DraftKings turns it up with them from the first round all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Bet player props, bet live, from the opening faceoff to the final horde. Every moment matters. New DraftKings customers bet just $5 and you'll get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN so you're ready for the moment. That's code THPN. Turn $5 into $100 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
And welcome back. All right, Nick, you brought up Sheldon Dries there and that whole line swap between MBN and Dominic Shine to hopefully get, some spark into that first line. You mentioned Dries had a goal in the last game. 2 assists tonight from Driesy too. And plenty of scoring chances, including that one that you talked about earlier going off of Primu's blocker, which was, again, a great save. But this shift really seems to have woken them all up, and it's really good to see a guy like Sheldon Dries. We don't need him contributing on the scoring side. We just need him on the assist side of things, right? He's such a great setup guy. If he's scoring, great. But if he can get guys set up, that's a beautiful thing. And for him, 3 points in these last 2 games now, exactly what we want to see.
He's part of that top unit. He's one of the veterans, right? He wears a letter. He's got to be an impact, whether that's offensively, off the puck. He can affect the game in so many ways. And I think tonight, like he had that great opportunity at one point in the game, and Primo made a huge save. I believe that was in the third period. Might have been third period of overtime. It's like he's in the right spots. He's generating chances. It's just, like you said, sometimes maybe he doesn't, light up the score sheet, but could get that, he's a voice, right? He's part of that leadership group. They need that guy they need guys like that. And then to me, I thought the team as a whole played a lot better, but especially their vets played a lot better in this game.
I'm going to retweet what Travis just said. I mean, I heard the hammer on the, I can't say it again.
The hammer on the head there.
Hammer the nail.
Hit the nail on the head.
Oh gosh.
This is what happens when you're recording a show at midnight, folks.
1 goal, 2 assists. There's been all this chatter the last week about where's the first line, right? And he responded, right? He's got out there, he's got assists, he's got a goal, he's got this team back in it. The second goal tonight was he assisted on the John Leonard goal. The goal from last game. He started the night with a power play goal. Got the Griffins on track right away. And that was it was 2 minutes into the game. So, I mean, he's out there. He's putting up the defense like he has been in the last series and first couple games of this one, but now he's putting up the points. So he's quieting the critics.
Quieting the critics is probably the right way to put it, especially, I mean, both him and Leonard now at 5 points in these 7 games. Obviously, only 1 goal between the two of them, 4 assists each. The last piece to get unlocked on that top line is Dominic Shine. Well, now second line. Who knows what that'll look like with the status of Amadeus Lombardi for next game. But I think Thursday is the game where hopefully we can unlock Dominic Shine again. 1 point through 7 games is not Dominic Shine. That's not what we know. That's not what we want to see. And has he been doing other things around the puck? Yes, he's been playing great defensively. His penalty killing has been good. We just need to get the offense unlocked. Once we can get him rolling too, if you can get all 3 of those guys back on the score sheet heading into a conference final, that's exactly what you need. But I feel like it's got to be Thursday. Like Shine's got to unlock that day, right?
Yeah.
Either that or have a big moment in game 5.
Big hit, take somebody out, big fight. I don't know. Like if you're not putting up the points on the board, right? You're looking for hits. You're looking for that the energy, right? The momentum swap, right? If he could do something like that, get the crowd into it or quiet the crowd, I think that could be huge.
Tell you what, he needs to have a Mike Richards moment or a Claude Giroux moment from Philadelphia back when they made the playoffs back in like 2010. It was off the opening draw in like game 6 in Philadelphia, and Giroux just trucked a guy. And I think Mike Richards had a similar thing for him where he came down and scored like the opening goal in the game or something. That's the type of captain stuff that he could do, especially back at Van Andel. You imagine the first shift just goes out, truck the guy, and buries like a slap shot into the net. I don't know. Like, you want to talk about big moments. That's when I hear like captain plays, that's where my head goes. I'm like, that's a perfect opportunity.
Cronwell, somebody like that.
Yeah. Anything.
I want to see like a hit the level of Kobe Bryant running through his teammate at the Olympics. That's what I want to see. Just run through a guy on the Wolves. Just set the tone right away. Don't injure him. We don't cheer for injuries, but set the tone. Or score a goal. One of those two, I'll take it. I'll take it all day. All right, the last guy we got to talk about to try to wrap this up. Sorry, we're trying to keep this episode a little shorter. Again, it's midnight that we're recording this. These Central Time starts for the Griffins suck. I can only imagine what next round will be, but it's the playoff grind. That's what we're here for. But let's talk about Postavo, right? You kind of have to. Last game was the first time all season he allowed 4 goals. Tonight he allows 3 on 11 shots. Concerns?
Looked rough. I
3
thought
on
he
11?
looked
Didn't
rough.
they have like almost 20?
It was 2-on-2.
No, so the third goal was allowed when they only had 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Sorry.
Yeah. 'Cause it was like, what, two goals on 4 shots at first.
It was 2 goals on 3 shots at first.
Yeah,
shots.
And one of them he was screened. The other one I think he was screened by one of our players. I don't know. I was like, what's that look?
So I say the first one, Fensori's goal. Fensori sold the direction he was going hard, and Posty bit.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was not a regular Posty move right there. I don't know if the pressure starting, the fatigue. I still concerned. There were people calling to swap the goalie in the second. I think the second or third. I kind of thought the same thing, right? Give Cossa a chance, but Posty bounced back. The assist, right? 2-way goalie right here. I mean, how much can you ask for, right? So he gets an assist, gives up the bad goal on Fensori. The Robodaw one, I think he was screened on, and I can't remember the Sorum one.
The Unger Sorum one it's a 50-50 take or leave, honestly.
Probably wants it back. So
I mean, I don't know. Like you said during the live stream, Cossa hasn't played in over a month. Like I don't know if Dan Watson's kind of looking at himself going right now, going, dang, should he have started game 2 in Manitoba? Should I have ran a rotation off the bat? It's a lot of 2020 hindsight, right? Like who knows? I don't think you can. I don't think you go to Cossa in game 4. I don't think you can after that long of a break. I mean, I know you can try to replicate in-game intensity in practice, but you've got 1 day between now and then. It's
then it just gets longer. Like, what you're going to put him in the first game of the Western Conference Finals? Is that the play to give Posty a break?
No,
I'm with you. Like we're kind of running into that Detroit situation where Cossa was playing so well in the beginning of the season. We're like, he needs to play in Detroit, and then Detroit ran out of time, and then it's like, okay, now we're here. You still ride the hot goalie, but I think you're right. We should have probably went rotation.
well, we've said it all season that the team plays differently in front of each goaltender, right?
Right.
And it felt like in the last game and tonight's game, the Griffins kind of drifted to how they play in front of Sebastian Cossa, and this was the end result. They need to lock it down a little tighter defensively. And I know when you hold a team to 20 shots through 3 periods and an overtime, that sounds insane, but it's not the amount of shots, it's where the shots were coming from that is the concern. They've got to get those high danger areas re-locked down, and that's my biggest concern heading into the next game, because that's where it's a 50-50 shot for Posty to make an athletic crazy save or the puck's going in, and that's what you've got to lock down first.
I still don't think he's giving you a reason to go to the other guy.
I-
That's where I'm at with it. Until, like, I get that he gave up the 2 on the 4, but until you get to a point to where it's like first period, if they're down 3-0, then you go, okay, we got to make a change. Or if you're down 2-0 after the first and they're ugly goals, like, but even then it's like the team's battled for him. Like, I don't think
It did.
I don't think you give him I don't think you change. I really don't.
It's not even like about giving him it's not that him giving us the option or the reason to pull him. It's like, if we are in that situation, what do we do? The other guy hasn't played in over a month. Both the other guys, there's 2 back there. Neither of them have played since the final game of the regular season.
At this
Even
point,
if it
it's
goes
better-
south, what do you do?
You pull up Carter Gylander at this point because he's played more recently. Like, that's literally like,
And he's also a certified owner of the Chicago Wolves with his numbers too. So
which is crazy to say. Like, you don't I don't know. You can't put him in.
that would just create so much chaos. Could you imagine, since the walleye are done, the transaction tomorrow, Carter Gylander called up, Carter Gylander's in game for frickin' 4. The meltdown online from Red Wings fans would be otherworldly.
I think they've made their bed. It's Postava or nothing. I think that's what it is. And
Yeah.
look, I'll be honest. Like, I was having this conversation with my dad, and he was kind of right. He's like, this time of the year, like, if you can't go back to back, you shouldn't be playing pro. Like, if you're going to be the guy and you're going to, steal somebody's job and they're going to ride you hard into the playoffs. If you can't go back to back, maybe you shouldn't be playing. That's how, and I agree with him. I think it's a very fair assessment. It's not like, there's no reason that he can't do it. I get that this is the most he's ever played and blah, blah, blah. But if he's the best option to win the hockey game, which right now he is, outside of starting a cold goaltender or a guy that's just been worked, his fourth start in 7 days? Like, do you really think that would be the option if they called up Gyro? I don't think so.
No, that's obviously a joke.
In theory, Trey hasn't played in a month. They're not going to play him regardless. Your only other option's Cossa. He hasn't played in a month. Postava's been your best option, and he hasn't really been horrible. He's been stellar for most of the playoffs. It's an easy decision to go back to him.
The whole point is if you're going to allow 3, the offense needs to be able to score more than 3.
Which they did tonight.
Exactly. Go ahead, Andrew. I know you had a point to make.
No, I was just going to say, you brought up limiting high danger areas. In your opinion, where do you think the highest danger areas are that they need to lock down? I know it's kind of ambiguous, but I'm getting to a point here.
The entire house.
The entire house, like Travis calls it. Yeah, you got to lock down you got to push them to the perimeter. That's the thing. Postava does not get beaten often on perimeter shots unless there's a wild redirect. But again, the Griffins have been decent enough at clearing traffic in front of him to where if you keep them on the perimeter, you're going to have a better time. I mean, you look at both of the Wolves, or all 3 of the Wolves goals tonight. 2 of them came from one face-off circle. The other came from the other. You can't let them get weird shots off there. And again, Posty probably should have had 1 of those, maybe 2, who knows? But at the same time, you got to push them to the perimeter better. There's a lot of shots. I'm looking at a straight line of shots down the shot chart right now in the slot.
Fair. I was going to give him credit for the lack of shots in tight. The Griffins, let's say you take an imaginary trapezoid from a little left of the goal crease, a little right of it, and go up to the hash marks in between the 2 circles. Chicago has 5, and the Griffins have about what looks like to be at least 17 to 20 in that area.
It does.
That's unbelievable. So at least in terms of in front of Postava tonight, they did an awesome job. To your point though, right down the slot, you got a line of 5, 6, 7 shots. So maybe you get lucky and get a couple more blocks in there. And to your point, you keep them on the outside a little bit more. But overall, from a defensive standpoint tonight, they did one hell of a job despite the 3 goals that went in.
They did a better job defensively tonight too. You didn't see a whole lot of odd man rushes. You didn't see a whole lot of backdoor passes. At least I didn't, and I may have missed it doing the live stream. But I thought they played a lot tighter and they accounted more for more man-on-man defense, and that was huge. I mean, the shots are a little bit closer than what we'd like, right? But I think this game too is Postis had to steal games before, and now this game was one that GR had to steal, right? The forwards, the defense, the rest of the team had to step up because he didn't make the saves that he usually does, right?
I mean, I'm not going to completely contradict you, but I can think of 3 or 4 plays where it's puck would go low and then out through the seam and there's a guy in the slot wide open. So they still had plenty of lapses and high danger lapses. I can think of at least 3 plays in particular, and the one was really bad.
Yeah, but I think the ones Nick is talking about is the backdoor passes that the Wolves were just yearning for in the last 2 games. Those backdoor passes around the creases. They did take away that. Yeah. That's where they beat us. Let's be real. That's where they beat us in game 1 and 2. And if you can eliminate that backdoor right there, but still, there's going to be a couple opportunities that might find their way into the slot for an open guy. With the Wolves only having 20 shots, the shot chart looks good. Yes, those high danger slot shots are bad, but like Andrew said, they did a great job clearing around the crease. You don't even see a shot bubble near the crease on this chart, which is, I don't remember the last time I've seen that, honestly. Not even just a little chip shot right by the goalie. That's great. So keep eliminating the backdoor pass, because you could tell that frustrated Chicago immediately when they couldn't complete those, because that's all they were trying to do in game 2 in Grand Rapids was backdoor. It's great to eliminate those. Let's just cut down a couple of the other high danger opportunities as well, especially those face-off circle ones and where they're from. It should be an easy enough area to cut off or at least get a block off. But again, 2 of them were on the power play too, so that does not help the situation when you're trying to analyze where those shots came from. But overall, the resounding, thought is here, we're going back to Posty. There's no reason not to. And again, he's just got to stop more shots, and the Griffins got to score more goals. That's it. It's very simple. As long as he stops enough, the Griffins can outscore whatever the Wolves score. We're good to go, and that's what we saw tonight. Back-to-back games with overtime is not a surprise at all. When you look at the way the season series between these teams broke down, it was a ton of overtime games, and it's just at least good to see us get one of the overtime wins. I don't know how heartbroken I would have been if this resulted in the end of the season being a overtime loss to Chicago tonight. That would have been just gutting. Seeing this team get swept would have been gutting. But I'd love to see the reverse sweep pulled off here on this team, and that's exactly what we're going for. And Thursday's game is going to be just as high stress as this game was. I'm excited for it. We'll be back live again for that game, so make sure if you're looking for it, jump into the live stream, chat with us and any other guests that we have on the show. Tonight was such a fun time with everybody who participated in that, not just our guests, but the chat as well. It was a blast. But before we wrap up, let's give you the update around the American League playoffs like we always do. Not too many changes from the last time we talked. In the Pacific Division Finals, Colorado's leading that series 2-1. Obviously, the Griffins are trailing Chicago in the Central Division Finals 1-2 right now. North Division Finals are tied 1-1 with Game 3 on Wednesday. In the Atlantic Division Finals, Wilkes-Barre has a 2-1 lead over Springfield with Game 4 on Thursday. So that's your update around the American League. I have nothing else to put a bow on this episode or this game with. I'm just super excited for Game 4 on Thursday. Really excited. Hopefully the Griffins can do exactly what they did tonight, get a win, bring this series back to Grand Rapids, because I have a feeling with a Game 7, but Game 5, Game 7 atmosphere in Van Andel on a Saturday night with not much else going on around in Grand Rapids that Saturday. I have a feeling it'll be pretty packed, rambunctious, loud, and crazy, and maybe we convince Travis to come out of the woods and come up to a game. Who knows? We'll see.
Be tough, boys. I'm supposed to be in PA.
Well, we tried. With that, we'll wrap the episode up. Thank you all for tuning into another playoff game recap from us. We'll be back again, like I said, Thursday with a live stream, but of course Thursday with another episode. We'll squeak a Toledo Walleye season recap in here somewhere down the line. Let us get our bearings about us and figure out what's going on, or maybe we'll just focus on the Griffins and bring that to you once the entire season is done. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But stay tuned for everything we're bringing you soon. But we got to thank the sponsors of the show, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN, and when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST to save a few bucks off your order. We also got to thank our lovely Patreon subscribers over at patreon.com/Hockeytown West Podcast. You can join these lovely people, check out the tiers we have, get the bonus unedited episodes, bonus nonsense, whatever we decide to record at midnight like Nick did to us the other night. It all ends up there. So Nick, who are the lovely people over at Patreon?
We've got some new ones too. We got Michael Alsante, Alan Alori Foch. We got Derek Caesar, Griffin Not from GR, Elaine Grace, John in Florida, Tyler Ingalls, Dilly, Joe Schroeder, Peter Grell, Darren Swartz, Zach, Bertrito, Alan GR, Bex, Jason C, Snail, Adam Hutchinson, and then Anna just joined 2 days ago. So welcome.
Beautiful. Well, welcome, Anna, and thank you everybody else that's joined us over there. We promise we got some fun stuff coming your way once the season especially winds down. Plenty of bonus content. I heard we're going to do a golf match between Travis and Andrew at some point. I'm totally joking. That hasn't been official, but I like the idea of it now. But either way, check out what we got over there, and thank you again to all those that have subscribed over there. Boys, that is it. We got Game 4 on Thursday. Again, I'm so excited. We'll start the live stream again around 7:30 Eastern time, so make sure you're tuned in, and we'll be there all game long. But before we go, we also got to say what we always say. Go Griffins. Go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.
Gonna miss the Walleye.